Welcome to the Peace Pentagon Hub vlog. The Peace Pentagon is a conference and training center for progressive programs and sacred activism located in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Our Hub vlogs feature thought leaders and futurists in each sector of society, where every day synergistic solutions are emerging to help us build a new world.
Hi, my name is Laura George, and welcome to another edition of the Peace Pentagon Hub vlog. The Peace Pentagon is a conference and training center for progressive programs and sacred activism, and it's located in Independence, Virginia. Our Hub vlogs feature the major sectors of society where every day synergistic solutions are emerging to help us build a new world. Today, I'm interviewing Catherine Ashera Rose and Laurel D. Snyder. Both Ashera and Laurel work in the health and wellness sectors and in the spirituality sector. Catherine Ashera Rose is an interfaith minister, a healing arts practitioner, mentor teacher of the Dances of Universal Peace. She's also the author of Peace Curriculums. She's the mother of 3 beautiful daughters, and she seeks to awaken the heart through deep inner work, creative expression, ritual, and celebration. She facilitates individual, couples, and group retreats, workshops, and celebrations. Currently, she lives and co-directs the Anahata Education Center in Floyd, Virginia. Welcome, Ashera.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Also with us today is Laurel D. Snyder. She is a retired board-certified holistic nurse who is dedicated to supporting and promoting the healing and evolution of the body, mind, and spirit. Since 1991, Laurel has extensively studied, practiced, and taught bioenergetic healing, intuitive development, guided imagery, and life pattern recognition. Laurel also is trained with shaman from Peru, South America, Mexico, and Native American traditions. Welcome, Laurel.
Thank you, Laura.
So good morning, ladies. And today we're going to zero in on an event coming up where you are co-facilitating. It's the Women's Vision Quest Retreat at the Oracle Institute. And we're really excited you're coming. It's going to be the weekend of October 12th. And I thought we would start, since you are both so accomplished, and the little bio I read was brief to say the least. I thought maybe you would want to pick an area of your background and expand on it a little, and tell us how it relates to shamanism, which is going to be the topic of the upcoming retreat. You want to go first, Laura?
Sure. Well, I would say that for the first 40 years of my life, I believed in science and medicine. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in nursing and am a member of the International Nursing Honor Society, Sigma Theta Tau. But at age 40, when I was working as a primary nurse on the brain injury unit, I had a life-threatening incident happen. And it was very pivotal in changing my life, in recognizing that science and medicine have a lot of answers, but it doesn't have all of the answers. And so that really began a journey, a spiritual journey for me, in which I looked at other cultures, religions, and techniques for healing the body, mind, and the spirit. And that's actually how I came to build upon the therapeutic touch that I was fortunate to learn in the 1970s from a nursing professor who had studied with Dr. Dolores Krieger, who developed therapeutic touch. So over the years, studying various forms of bioenergetic healing naturally led me into studying intuitive development and guided imagery through hypnotherapy, past life regression, and then all of these things kind of, it's as though when you open one door and you expand your awareness outside of the box, you suddenly become aware of the synchronicity of life, and it leads you in many directions. So I was very fortunate to be led to study with a number of teachers and shamans. And that's really what I'm looking forward to sharing at the Women's Vision Quest Retreat.
Beautiful. Ashera, what would you like to share? What would you like to zero in on within your background?
Gosh, it's kind of a hard choice, Laura. Like Laurel, I've had quite a diverse experience in this lifetime. I feel that I've been weaving many different threads together, many lifetimes. I'm an interfaith minister because I've journeyed on many different mystical pathways. And right now I consider that primarily my teachers are nature and just my own inner wisdom and my own inner heart. I have always had a very deep connection to the concept and the experience of peace, and wanted to just share that I feel that peace is at the heart of healing. That peace gives us the opportunity to pause and experience our deep wisdom and the spaciousness to make informed and enlightened choices for ourselves. So my work has been, in certain eras of my life, very much around teaching children and adults how to cultivate and activate peaceful space within themselves, peace within their relationships through very concrete conflict resolution and communication skills, and also how to become the sort of sacred activist, I would say, of radiating peace out into our world and working collectively to create a more beautiful and harmonious world together. So that's a little bit of my path.
Well, that too fits in perfectly with the Peace Pentagon. So we might have you back to teach a peace class. Laurel, I want to ask you more about your classical Western training. I know that you were a primary care nurse in a brain injury unit. Tell us how today you've infused both your Western medical training and the Eastern and more holistic training that you've done.
That's an interesting question, Laura, and I'll try to summarize a kind of complicated journey. But when I was working as a primary nurse in the brain injury unit, I kind of questioned why some patients would more than achieve their prognosis in recovery, and other patients never achieved even 50% of how they could have recovered. Mm-hmm. So I'm a good researcher, and so I began kind of documenting and paying attention to what the factors were that affected a patient's recovery and healing. And what I noticed was that the spiritual belief that the person had before their accident or surgery impacted their healing potential. The support that they had from their family and community also impacted their healing potential. Their personality as to whether they were an optimist or a pessimist before their accident or injury affected their healing potential. And so those kinds of questions really were answered by the more meta-spiritual part of my journey in life. And today, what I have found is that quantum physics answers and supports a lot of the questions that people have had about shamanism or other alternative methods of healing. You know, before the era of quantum physics, you know, people really questioned whether that was just imaginary or whether, you know, that was something that was real. But they've actually done triple-blind studies. As far as how it incorporates, one of the factors of quantum physics is in defining things in our world in terms of frequencies. And so frequencies would be an energetic signature that something has, whether it's, you know, whether it's the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink. So we're talking about more of the interconnection of human beings in their environment, which is something that shamans have recognized for thousands of years. Shamans understood that there's an interconnection to all of life on multidimensional levels. Even though they weren't able to define it as such, they innately recognized this. And so I really appreciate integrating the concepts of shamanism and alternative healing with the scientific concepts and the medical training that I had as a nurse. To me, it's really kind of fitting in together, and it supports the whole foundation of the current pattern of life, which I believe is integration. The body, mind, spirit in our environment, because we're all interconnected.
Well, it also just gives you such a unique perspective, since you've been both classically trained and shamanistically trained. So that's one of the things I love about you, is that you bring both of those perspectives to bear. Ashera, I know you're also a healer. You're a Reiki master. And I know that you too approach healing in a full body, mind, body, spirit, holistic manner. I'm curious about the dances of peace. Can you tell us how maybe your holistic knowledge of the body, mind, and spirit, allows you to tap into something that other dance teachers maybe don't have at their disposal?
Thank you, Laura. That's a wonderful question. So one of my gifts, perhaps, to the dances of Universal Peace World was to really break down the underpinnings of the dances and to recognize and call out that we're working with breath. We're working with deep intention, with sacred intention. We're working within the sacred temple of the body. Our bodies are actually vehicles of awakening and deep connection with all that is. We're working with sound, and sound is one of the newest realms that I'm loving as a healing modality. And together, moving in a container of deep intention, we embody the prayer, we embody a resonant field together, which allows for a great deal of opening and release and deeper sense of connection to everything that is. It's a grounded embodiment, but it also is generating fields of vibration that can be radiated out into the world. So all of us in the circle, feeling our unity, feeling more deeply resourced, more connected to one another, and also being able to beacon that out in certain moments when we go into the stillness, especially. So it's a greatly joyful, but also highly transformational experience. And it interplays with many of the sacred world traditions. So in the dances, we can call upon the elements of nature. In the more indigenously rooted dances, we can call upon some of the goddess archetypes from various world religions in the dances, and walk with the mudra, walk with the embodiment of those goddesses to feel the energetic frequency that they carry, that we can also carry. So we're tapping in deeply to inner resources and activating them, and by expressing them through song, through movement, through mudra, we more fully embody them. We find that we overcome some of those physical blocks and limitations where we're holding back, such as, for instance, our heart may be shielded and tightly held, and we find that by the end of the circle, we're wide open.
Well, that's beautiful. I know that you're going to lead some dances at the retreat, so I'm really excited to be able to participate in that and learn from you. Let's zero in on the retreat a little more. I'd like each of you to tell us something that you're going to teach at the retreat or facilitate at the retreat that will entice our listeners to come and join us. And this is October 12th again, weekend. Laurel, you want to go first? What are you thinking of sharing?
Oh, yes, I'm really excited to be part of this retreat. I think it's just going to be a really wonderful experience for everyone that attends. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing is the opening ceremony at the medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel is really important because it's a way in which all of the participants will be able to honor and connect with the frequencies and the energies, the guides, the guardians, and the spirits of light from the four directions, from Pachamama, Earth, the Earth Mother, the sun, the moon, the stars. We're going to be asking for permission and blessing for the sacred space of the medicine wheel, the sharings and the healings and the evolution that will be going on through the experiential exercises that you and Ashera and I will be offering during this Women's Vision Quest retreat. So this is just something that is going to be full of so many different experiences, and from my perspective, it will be experiences that include guided imagery, and bioenergetic healing work. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about crystal bowl toning and power animal totems.
This is going to be really fun and really fulfilling. I personally have experienced Laurel guide a shamanic journey using drums, and it was really accessible to me, and I did have a peak experience during that journey. So she's the real deal, folks. Ashera, tell us something that you're going to do during the weekend that's unique.
Well, one of the things I'm really blessed to do is to guide the fire circle. And we're really in discernment now whether we'll go into the sacred deep inner space of the kiva, or whether we'll be outdoors with a raging bonfire. And I think either one would work beautifully, but the intention will be in either case to create a safe, sacred, intimate space in which we are all able to share the stories from our lives that are the things that have burned us most deeply, the things that have shaped us and our journey with the fire element, meaning that intensity, that incredibly transformational energy that is sometimes difficult to master. Fire allows us to release and incinerate anything that no longer serves us, anything that is limiting our inner core radiance in any way. And so this is a radical opportunity to literally burn after we've written down some of the things that we most want to shake off. And by using song, movement, ritual, we will literally be shaking some of those things off, and then activating and empowering the archetypes and the energies of fire into light, calling on our own inner core connection to source, calling on those archetypes of the fiery feminine goddesses that embody fire so well, such as Artemis, Kali, but really activating those energies that will allow us to set new intentions and really go for them in our lives. So I think all, as fiery as it will be, I love what Laurel, you've just said about in the medicine wheel, we're holding fire as that activating radiant force within the balance of earth and water and air and spirit. So we'll also be grounding and balancing our, let's say, our energy container with some sacred geometry, qigong. I would say it's a kind of a yogic qigong using the 5 elements, but that radiant core fire at the center, and then in perfect balance, heaven and earth, within and without, before us, behind us, all of that.
Beautiful. That's really beautiful. We in addition to the fire ceremony, you're right, we're going to be dealing with all the elements over the weekend. We will have a water ceremony as well at the New River, which, for those of you who don't know, is the oldest river in the Western Hemisphere. Our campus is right on the river. So yes, the theme is shamanic. It's Native American, it's indigenous. And we may delve into some other goddess energies over the weekend, but predominantly that is the theme. So at the end, we are going to talk about vision quests, people who might want to go deeper. And one of the really fun things for me that we're going to do at the end is work with our animal totems. And so some people are going to arrive and already know, I know my totem, and we'll have exercises for them. And then for those who aren't sure what their guiding animal totem is, Laurel's going to be leading us in another meditative exercise, and we're going to use cards, a medicine deck. Laurel, you want to tell us a little bit more about that portion of the weekend?
Sure. In addition to the medicine cards, which is one of my favorite decks to use, I will be bringing a crown chakra crystal bowl for toning, because the frequency of the toning bowl will allow all of the participants to really go deep within and discover, what their crown chakra power animal is, and By the way, power animals can also change according to circumstances. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that the guided imagery exercises will help each participant to set their intention, but also kind of narrow in on the most powerful vision quest for them this weekend to help heal or evolve their body, mind, and spirit.
Mm-hmm. So we have many meditative journeys, shamanic journeys we're going to experience over the weekend. We're going to be working with all the elements. We're going to be working with our animal guides and spirit guides. Frankly, it is going to be a life-changing weekend. Women only, sorry guys, women only this time. So please grab your mom, grab your best friend, your daughter. Last year we had some mother-daughter participants, and that's just so beautiful to watch. Such a beautiful sharing can come from that. We've got about 4 slots left, and we want it to just be magical. So if this feels right to you, listening to this, please join us. I know you will not be disappointed. You will walk away with a fresh view of your life assignment while you're here, and the spirits who are here to help you. So just to conclude, the Women's Vision Quest weekend is the weekend of October 12th through the 14th, and you can register at the Oracle Institute website. And for those who participate, you'll also be getting some follow-up information on our two facilitators, Laurel Snyder and Ashera Rose, if you want to seek private sessions with them perhaps afterward. So thank you, ladies. I will see you in a couple weeks, and thank you so much.
We hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. To learn more about the Peace Pentagon Hub, visit peacepentagon.net. And if you're interested in living with other cultural creatives, check out the Valley of Light micro-community at the Oracle campus in Independence, Virginia. To learn more about the Valley of Light, visit our other website, theoracleinstitute.org.